Hello there. I'm at a local wildlife management area that's fairly close to where I live. It's out of my town, but in another county, but it's public land. And I've been wanting to come here for a while. If you remember, I did a uh, video where I was trying to do wildlife photography a couple of years ago, March 2019. Uh, and I came up here and realized I needed a hunting license or a fishing license or some type of permit, either one of those, in order to come in here. So I went somewhere else. But I've been wanting to come out here for a while, and right now what I'm doing is some woodland photography. If you look at the log here, it's got moss or lichen, or actually not moss or lichen, but fungus, mushroom, something of the sort, on various parts of the log, and it goes all the way up. It does like a curve so that I can kind of put this corner in maybe a rule of thirds. Come, let me show you what I'm doing. Okay, you see the log. Let me get my level off. And I'm shooting straight to it, but I kind of let this curve a little bit. It's not quite into, but it is like middle of the frame, this curve. So that's part of the thirds. Anyway, if you want to look at it, I've got the log coming down, and it's got all these trees overlooking, or these leaves and stuff overlooking it. It's got moss, or I'm sorry, fungus and stuff all over it. I think it's beautiful. And what I've done, I have, if I can get it to come on. Okay, I need to hit info. That's what's going on. You see my meter. It's just slightly underexposed. I want it that way because actually I want to drop it just a little bit more, because what I want is I want to bring out the greens of these leaves, but also this is middle of the day, so I'm going to get specular highlights and stuff off of these leaves if I don't underexpose, because I don't have a polarizer. I'm focused in on this little group of lichen. I believe we have a 10-second timer. I keep calling it lichen, but it's basically like mushrooms. But we're going to go ahead and take that shot. Alright, if you look, I'm sticking pretty much to the trail here because the woods are heavily overgrown, and I have not been in this place in 20 years, and I've never been in this section. The last thing I want to do is run around in the woods and get lost. I have a compass, stuff like that, so I could find my way back out, but I'm just going to see what I can get off this trail, because this trail is supposed to lead to a lake. Maybe it might be a small lake, it might be a big lake, I don't know, but maybe I can get a nice shot down there. You never know. But anyway, I have this tree here. It's overhanging the path, and you see my tripod is fairly high. It's up above my head because I want to get that, but I don't want a perspective, too much of a perspective of me, the camera tilted up. It's tilted up a little bit because that's as high as my camera will go. Actually, my camera, yeah, I could remove this. I could turn this and raise it up, but we're going to try it here. Hold on a minute. I got some people coming by. So anyway, what I have is I have this tree overhanging the path. I'm going to get just a little bit of that path. There's a log in the center. I don't know if that will show or not. But okay, you see, I'm fairly underexposed. There's a purpose for that. I have a bit of the sky here, and I'm probably going to try to crop that out. But I want to, again, I want to avoid those specular highlights. So you see I am about a stop underexposed. If we bring this up, you can see more of what I'm looking at, but you see all that light. I can't, so I'm going to go a stop underexposed. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 2 stops underexposed. And you can bring shadows back, but good luck at bringing highlights back. If you blow your highlights out, you're done. But I should be able to raise the shadows in this picture without significantly, and still retain any kind of detail that might be in the sky. I'm walking down this trail, and if I look over here, I don't know if you can see, but it looks like it's opening up. So I might be getting close to where they are talking about the lake being around here, but I just passed some people, or they just passed me rather. They said the lake is like over on the other side, whatever that means. And so I might get down here and not be able to do a blooming thing. I don't know. But it's worth a look. We're going to walk on down here just a little bit and see what we can see. Now we're going down a grade pretty good, so maybe we're getting close to the bottom. This would be a really nice place, I think, for birding as well. If I hit it at the right time of day, you can hear them. Well, I hope you can. This microphone might not be picking them up all that great. But this is why I love Virginia. Look at that thick, thick forest. Just gorgeous. So I don't know how well you can see. I don't know what light we have. Let me see if I can find a better light. I ain't got much time to vlog. You remember I talked about staying on the trail and I get lost? Well, I disobeyed my own recommendation. There was a small trail that led off from the main trail, and I followed it, and I ended up at some kind of big fire pit. And instead of turning around and following that trail back out to the main trail, I tried to follow another smaller trail, and that trail basically ended. And so I am lost. And I've been running about an hour and a half, well, climbing, and not running, trying to get myself out. If you listen, there's a road up ahead. I believe when I started traveling down the trail, it was southeast. So I've got my compass, and I'm going northwest. And I'm pretty sure that I'm going in the right direction because I hear the traffic, but also this is an uphill slog, and that trail was downhill, and I remember thinking, man, it's going to be a heck of a climb out. So I don't have a whole lot of time to vlog. Okay, hey, look, you can see me now. I don't have a whole lot of time to vlog. I don't want to be out here all night, so I need to get out of here before dark. So I'll talk to you once I reach my van, because I'm pretty sure I'll end out on a highway somewhere, and I'll have to figure out exactly where I'm at and head back to my van. I could have 5 minutes walk to it, or 3 or 4 hours, don't know. We will see. Hey, it's part of being in the country, folks. This ain't the first time this has happened. And with the Lord's help, I'll get out of here. And if you look behind me, you'll see how thick that I came up the side of the mountain to get where I'm at. You hear that traffic? If you look, you can see the power line. I am out pretty much. I got to go a little bit further. I can tell you one thing right now, this Neewer tripod, I have used it as a walking stick, and it has done a fantastic job. But you see how thick it is. Even now, up against the highway, you know, I have to kind of weave my way around because there's so much. This is what makes Virginia beautiful. But you can, if you get lost, you're going to slog your way out. And if you don't have any idea the direction that you went in, see, I can't navigate with a map. I don't have a map of this area. What I have is kind of a dead reckoning in a way. I will kind of decide where or what direction I entered the woods at, and go back in the opposite direction using different trees and the compass itself, holding that out in front of me so that I won't turn around in circles, because that is something that is common with people that are lost. They look like they're going in a straight line to them, but what it is that you favor one side of your body. I tend to favor my left side, and so I am going to naturally turn in a left-handed circle. Now, trying to figure out where it is that I am at, that's another story. There we are. There's my lovely van. I came out of the woods about 2 minutes, or not 2 minutes, about a minute and a half, 2 minutes from my vehicle. Let's see, west of my vehicle. And it's like 20 minutes after 3. There's the trail. I'm going back down. That's all thanks to a bit of hillbilly navigation, being smart enough to keep a compass in my pack all the time, and paying attention to what direction I headed out of my vehicle when I started going into the woods. All right, we didn't go very far, but I've got this tree and this tree over here, and then you have a tree that's fallen and leaning against this one tree. And if you look through there, you can see the light through there. So it's like a path almost being lit up by the light. Now what I've done, you see, I have the needle there. It's a little overexposed now, but it was right dead center like the camera says it's supposed to be. We're going to take a shot like that We're at f11, 100 ISO, and 10-second timer. And then what we're going to do, you see how bright the light is hitting that? Well, remember what I was talking about before with the specular highlights and the bright, the camera will say that is too bright or is not bright enough. The camera doesn't always tell the truth. It's only guessing, okay, at available light. And when that light shoots through that forest like that, it's reading all that light. And so the light's going to be blown out. And I won't be able to recover any kind of detail. It'll look like poo. So I'm going to do a stop and a third underexposed according to what the camera says. You have to understand the camera sometimes will lie to you. That is where understanding exposure, how to expose, understanding the settings in your camera, and understanding how your meter is reading things is really important as a photographer. Yeah, you can run around here and put it on program mode or auto mode or whatever it is you want to call it and take all kinds of pictures, but you'll never truly understand what's going on until you learn about exposure, learn how to properly expose a picture. And let me tell you a little secret. It's not, there's no rule, okay? Exposure is according to what your eye says that it is, period. All right, I have this fallen tree here. I'm not sure it's going to be a spectacular shot. There's a lot of bush and tree in the way. That's kind of the nature of this really dense type of woodland. I'm in manual mode. You can see the composition. I've got that tree coming up here, and part of the dead branch that lays down on the bottom, that's the same tree, I do believe. And what I'm going to do, I have this in manual mode, and I have it at, that is supposedly a perfect exposure. That's at 6 seconds, or I believe that's what that means. I have a hard time reading. All right, that's going to be all for today. A couple of things. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to head right on back up that trail. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm going to head right on back up that to my vehicle. Couple of things. You should own a compass. If you're in the woods, you should own a compass. You don't have to understand how to navigate with a map or anything like that. But if you can remember the direction that you headed into the woods at, and kind of keep track of whether you swayed one way or the other. So like if you headed south and you swayed sort of toward the east, then you would kind of figure, okay, if I had northwest, because that's what I did, then I should end up at least on the road that I was, as long as that road doesn't, see, I know that this road, and I know it's not going to wrap around behind me. So, you know, knowing your area is important too, but you should have a compass, man. It'll save your butt. It might not get you exactly back to your vehicle, but it'll get you back to civilization if you know what you're doing. And they're cheap. Now you can get them in an app on your phone. Half of those, from what I understand, are not accurate. Also, one other thing you can do, now I headed up because I knew I needed to head north, and I knew that I had traveled down hill to get to where I was. But if you get completely lost, one of the best things you can do is just start heading downhill, down a mountain. Because the thing of it is most civilization is going to be down in the valleys. If you head down, the chances are good that you're probably going to find civilization. So anyway, thanks for coming with me. I appreciate you being a viewer and a subscriber and all that. And I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you later.